Welcome to our new format of the Valt podcast.
Dude, this is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Dude, I like it, man.
It looks so much better.
I'm digging it.
Yeah. Even though nobody else really ever saw the old one, unless they came on to be on a show with us.
That's very true.
It does look really nice.
There's been a lot of trial and error into getting it where it is today. So
it's nice and cozy. Guys. It's nice and cozy, like a place you just want to spend time in.
Yes, yeah. Maybe we should get like a fireplace right here. Be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And leave it running.
Leave it running.
Yeah. So you guys can't see it, but we've got our whole itinerary up on the screen here. Kind of like Joe Rogan. All we need is a producer somewhere in the background. Doing
Jeremy,
shit.
pull that up.
Yeah, Jeremy, pull it up.
We need one of those. Yeah.
Anybody interested in coming to produce
for free?
Hit us up.
Hit us up. Yeah.
This is the Valt podcast, and we are your car culture cultivators. And as usual, we have all of the hosts here today. It's one of those rare moments where we're all here and on the whole podcast. You guys want to say hi? I'm Robert.
I'm Vijay. Hi.
I'm Joe, and I'm ready to go.
Whoa! How do I follow? How do I follow that up?
Joe just downed a bottle of Chardonnay. He's feeling good.
I'm good. Half of it was sediment.
What up, everybody? I'm Sean. On God.
So what do we got going on at Valt? What's coming up soon? Before we get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, a lot of things are happening. I mean, Fifth Sundays is a few days away, so hope to see you there. That's in Moraga. If you haven't heard of that before, check Patreon, all that jazz. We had a Cars and Coffee at the Napa Vault coming up, literally a week after that, so that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, in terms of events that we're doing, Airborne just got released today. That is a cocktail party at their new car storage facility.
It's sweet. I've been there. I know you guys haven't been able to visit yet, but their space is really like dialed and to the nines. I know they hired like a museum lighting specialist to help build their lighting, and they have a really nice bar. They're selling, premium storage memberships for people in the Petaluma, North Bay area. It's a cool spot.
That should be a nice drive up there. Maybe we can get a group drive going on.
Yep. Yeah, be a fun afternoon drive. It's a little cocktail party. Yep. Just trying to get everybody to get to know these guys, and anybody that it's convenient for, maybe get their car in there or a couple cars.
There might even be some cool cars to look at.
Oh yeah, there might be a couple cool cars to look at. Yeah, we'll see what we can get out there. We'll stage some cars inside the space, and then there's parking for about 40 cars around the space.
Yeah. So if you've seen the Instagram announcement, sign up on the Eventbrite as soon as you can. Space is pretty limited. We think this will sell out pretty fast. It's free, but we think
RSVPs will probably fill.
RSVPs will fill. So sign up as soon as you can. You'll be one of the first people to get on, just based off when this goes. So yeah. That is the Vault news. But VJ went to Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that is, but VJ does.
You don't know about the Tail of the Dragon?
I've heard of it.
I guess the reason I knew about it is because I went to college on the East Coast, so everybody out there knew it.
Yep.
Okay.
It was like, it's famous for killing people and being fun.
Exactly.
What?
It's a road. It's an 11-mile stretch of road with
driving there is called
390 turns or something, right?
Yeah, like the corner count is like 300 corners in a stretch of 11 miles.
Okay.
It's absolutely twisty, like beautifully banked, all naturally.
It's like an incredible road.
The way they are. It's the Smokies, right? So the Smokies mountain is like a different set of, a whole bunch of set of amazing driving roads. So people from all around the Midwest, South, East, West, everywhere just drive there. Like it's like a, resort for people who love driving. They just come there, stay over for like a weekend, motorcycles, cars, and just drive there like all weekend.
Nice.
Just go back.
Where is this?
It's on the border of Tennessee and NC.
It's a really popular motorcycle spot.
Okay.
I know it's huge for motorcycles, and I don't know. I was just looking up in 2019 their statistics, but I think 4 people died in 2019 driving out there, and there were like nearly 100 crashes, and over 50% of those were motorcycles.
Yeah.
So people go hard out there.
Is that like an Isle of Man in
It's not
Tennessee?
even, it's Isle of Man, but like not sanctioned.
It's hard to break the speed limit there because like it's so twisty.
Yeah.
But like people drive really hard on those roads, and then
it's like a
very
perfect spot
dangerous.
for like this E36
okay.
M3 or like something like a little bit narrow bodied, stiff, really good momentum car kind of thing. Like you were saying like the the GT350 was like way
Yeah, it
out
was
of its
totally
league there.
outclassed by a Boxster, like a
Yeah.
1998 Boxster,
Yeah.
986, which was like, embarrassing a Shelby GT350 because of the type of road that is.
Yeah.
And it's also very dangerous because like beyond the edge of the road, it's directly just cliffs out into the woods. So that's why you have to like, have your wits
I
about.
remember reading a story when I was in college about somebody on Jalopnik, about somebody that like went off and was like stuck in their car for hours
Yep.
because they weren't able to contact like emergency.
Yep.
And were like pinned inside their car upside down.
Yeah, you can hear like helicopters coming in at some point
I'm sure.
to help out people.
Yeah. So anyway, go to the Tail of Dragon.
It's a yearly thing that I do with my friends in Chicago. We take some cars there, like drive all the way from Chicago to the Tail of the Dragon, drive there for 3 days or so, then come back. It's
It's so fun.
Yep.
Yeah, not everyone has like roads like California.
Yeah, we're so
nearby.
spoiled
Yeah,
with our roads.
so
Is it
Yep.
traffic? Is it like? I mean, because it seems really popular. Is it like traffic?
yeah,
gear?
it's pretty bad in the daytime.
So you have to go really early.
People
or-
choose to drive in the night.
Oh, great.
Oh.
And there's no
Lord.
there's no risk of deer there
It's like the
because
teenagers,
Yeah.
yeah.
the young kids these
Yes.
days.
Yeah.
Got to look out for them. What are the teens up
The
to?
night's like actually pretty decent because there are no deer there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So that's Tail of the Dragon.
Cool.
Well, that was fun.
I didn't do
Yeah.
anything interesting in the last week.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Yeah, nothing happened.
I ran over my EC.
Oh. This is tragic. Yeah, we were doing that shoot with Alex and stuff, and
That's for projects. We'll get into that.
yeah.
'Cause I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I filled out your project section. Look.
I don't actually
Wait for it.
know like anything about this.
Look.
L's in the chat.
Sorry, Sean. It's my fault.
So let's go into current events to make things quick.
Oh yeah, this is good stuff.
The Japan Auto Show.
We gotta get this video out ASAP, or
Yeah,
else this
it's-
current
yeah.
events is gonna look mad old.
Yeah, it'll come out. Yeah, the Japan Auto Show unveiled some pretty interesting cars.
Yep.
Something that piqued my interest was the new Prelude. Looks pretty cool, and they're bringing back a name, which is kind of interesting.
Is that just an EV? Do we know?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know much about any of the car. I don't know. I actually don't want to speak out my ass here, but I know it was Mazda, Toyota, and Nissan all unveiled something.
Yeah.
I was the most excited about the Mazda. It's a two-rotor hybrid, which is of course never going to be released because it's Mazda. But it's like gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous.
You know, when I first saw the Prelude, I didn't read the article, but I was like, you know what? The Prius is actually a better looking car from the front.
That is
Yeah,
true.
the Prius
That's the
is
first thing that
like
came to mind.
is shockingly good looking.
It's beautiful.
So like, I
just
mean,
lower it and just it's like an amazing futuristic looking.
why
Yeah.
are there not more?
Pull up
photos
the.
of it
Let's
there?
take a look at the Mazda or the Honda.
Yeah.
I love the design direction that Mazda has taken recently. Like no fuss, just like
So much
clean,
like I mean I
clean,
gotta say
monolithic.
Toyota has or Honda has kind of been doing a little, they like after the last generation CTR they kind of like backstepped and went into smoother
Yep.
lines, you know,
True.
especially
Yeah.
with the Prius. I like it. I think it looks like a mashup of like kind of like a
Prius.
an Accord, a Prius, and the rear quarter to me
Mustang.
looks like an Infinity.
Mustang.
Looks like a newer Infinity. What's the GX or what's the sports car Infinity that gets VQ'd?
G37.
Yeah, it looks like a really modern. Yeah, so I was really intrigued by the Mazda. I don't know if you guys have you guys all seen some of the press releases.
Yeah, the Mazda look great.
The Mazda is
They look
really
great.
cool.
It's like
the-
if an Elise was made beautiful.
yeah, it
the
is. It
proportions
is
of an
really
Elise,
nice.
yeah.
It's really nice. The GTR is kind of shocking. I don't know if you saw the GTR.
It's a very brutalist design.
Yeah, it looks like a brutalist structure from Russia in the 80s.
But the inside is like absolutely amazing.
So
80s,
rad.
80s synthwave, like fantasy inside.
Yeah, which one would you guys take of the three? The MR2 is cool too, but didn't quite
Mazda.
catch me. Yeah, I'm all over the Mazda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
The
Rotary.
Prelude is interesting as like a real car, daily practical thing. But the Mazda is just like, ooh, I want a rotary.
Jaw-droppingly beautiful.
Yeah,
It's an update
different,
RX-7.
great
It's really
design.
like, yeah.
like,
It's so
Mazda.
funny. the RX-8 just like doesn't feel like it fits in the lineage of the RX line because it's just so, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're becoming more and more appreciated as they get
As they
older.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. It's Tokyo Auto Salon, is that right?
Tokyo Auto Show.
Auto Show, okay. Yeah, that's current events. A
Yeah.
little bit of JDM stuff.
So
There's also
now-
racing news. What's up
Yes.
with racing news?
Yeah. So VJ.
Racing news with VJ.
Yeah, on the racing side, the big breaking news is that Lewis Hamilton has released a new brand of gin. No,
Of
just
gin?
kidding. Just kidding. Formula One US Grand Prix happened last Sunday. Yeah, there's a couple of big talking points. I'll keep it really short. One being the relevance of the sprint race they introduced in the last couple of seasons. So sprint races where on Saturday, instead of just having qualifying, they also have a short race of 20 laps
Yeah.
to have like more entertainment packed into the weekend,
Yeah.
to have like more fan engagement and more chatter about the weekend. But the negative side of it has been that the sprint races actually show and reveal where each car is exactly in terms of pace, how the pecking order is. So it actually
So
is a
people are
spoiler.
less interested in watching the
Exactly.
real
It's-
race.
Yeah, it's like a preview spoiler for the actual race. So without a sprint race, the race would have been a lot more interesting with all the strategies.
Yeah.
But on the sprint race day, you actually exactly figure out which team has the best degradation, long-term pace and all that, long-run pace and all that. So that kind of ruins the thing. So FIA and the teams are all discussing on what to do with that going forward. So that's one.
interesting. So they've seen like a significant decrease in viewership or like change in like competitiveness.
It's just like, no, it's just a spoiler for the weekend.
yeah.
For the Grand Prix. So that's one thing. So
It's
they're
just
going
whack.
to rethink that. And the second point was about two other people getting disqualified from the race. So Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc
Yeah.
were disqualified after the race was finished. So they were respectively second and I think sixth. They both got disqualified because their cars were found to be illegal because there's a plank that the FIA runs under each car.
Mm-hmm.
If the cars run too low to the ground, it gives them aerodynamic advantage in terms of
And they were
top
both
speed.
running too low.
Yeah, so they were both running too low and the Coda track was really bumpy. So they were found to be under the required thickness of the planks. So they were both disqualified. And the thing is, they don't check every car. They take a random sample of cars and then check them. So they
Are
randomly...
you serious? Why
Yeah.
don't they just check every car?
They don't have the manpower.
So everybody was probably cheating.
So they selected 4 cars. Out of them, 50% was like illegal.
And the two that weren't illegal were probably the only two on the grid that were not
Yeah,
illegal.
so everyone's like, come on, like you should check everyone.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
they don't have the
exactly.
manpower? How do they not have the manpower when it's like one of the most highly funded sports in the world?
Yeah, I'll do it for free.
It's like all sports, dude. You're only cheating when you get caught.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
hell, everybody wants an edge.
Yeah.
Especially racing. I mean,
Yeah.
racing is just
It's how
always
it's been.
cheating.
Like there are like too many points to check on the car.
Yeah.
So they just randomly select the cars and check
That's
them.
funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Classic.
All right. Well, there's motorsports news with VJ. What do we got next? We got marketplace finds.
Yeah. So
With Joe.
if you weren't familiar with this, we did this last week. Each person picks one or two different cars that they
Marketplace
thought were
finds.
interesting on various marketplaces.
Marketplace finds.
I picked two. Usually you're supposed to pick one, but the first one I guess I thought was funny. So click on this. It's not really that funny, but the first photo, it's a Range Rover, and you click on the
hell yeah.
go one to the right. It's cool. It's expensive, but look at this. Look at how there's like a straight up oil leak right there. I'll place on the video when I edit it. But like this dude didn't move his car. Like he's asking $30,000 for this Range Rover, and like there's this huge
An oil leak.
oil leak right in front of it.
And he clearly just put it in this spot and it leaked
right.
that much.
Yeah, it's like he didn't feel like he needed to move it. But regardless, there's something else. I mean,
It's
like,
pretty nice.
It's
$20,000 is a lot of money for one of these.
Wow, look at how much room there is. That
long wheel-
the seats must be all the way forward.
No, long wheelbases.
Oh, it's a long wheelbase. I didn't see that.
all
Okay.
of the
Wow.
extra wheelbases in the back seat for Range Rovers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had one of these when I was in high school. And I
What?
loved it. Yeah, I loved
I didn't
it.
know that.
Had this many miles.
That makes a lot of sense.
He sold it to a guy in Los Gatos for right before
For $16.53.
for $11,000, and it was right before these had their
Sounds good.
moment. So like
Yeah,
like a summer later, these were going for like 20 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
really
still
cool.
miss the car. I've been hunting one for. I've had one.
What color was it?
It was Roman bronze. So it was a little bit lighter bronze than this. It was a good car, but that's all I really wanted to point out was the oil leak. I
That's
thought it was funny.
hilarious.
Like if you're trying to sell premium
County long.
at a
Is
premium
it a county
price,
or country?
it's a county. No,
County?
I think it's
Okay.
country, but maybe
Do they do a
not.
country and a county version?
No, they did
The
not.
back seats of these things are so uncomfortable because they sit so
They're really high.
They're so high.
But they're great to drive
did
because
we
of
do that? We did that thing with Ian, right?
Yeah,
Anyone?
yeah.
Hey, those were early models too, so they're much more rudimentary than this. These feel a little bit more modern.
Okay.
The 95s are like the last year kind of like soft dash versions of the cars, so
okay.
a little more valuable. But yeah, I mean the other one that I posted was basically just a Land Rover that I thought was interesting. That's
Really
coming out.
you're really on the land.
I was on
range.
like a truck thing, but like Land Rover Discovery Series 1.
You don't have a kid soon? Is that?
Yeah.
No.
You trying to tell us something?
But the Series 1, you could tell it's a Series 1 because the lights are on the tail lights are on the bottom of the back instead of the top.
Yeah.
And these are like, I love these cars, and
$4,500.
you never see them, and this is a good price. That's just like a stock photo
Why did they put this in here?
because I think the guy's trying to flip a car. If you look at the description, it says I bought it from my aunt to modify.
Yeah.
And now I don't have money to modify it, which makes me think that he's just trying to come up with some random excuse why the registration has 2 weeks of ownership.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at it
yeah.
Off-roading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
through the
This
grass.
is cool.
But yeah,
I love the
I would
I
love
love
one
the
of
roof.
these.
The roof.
I
Portal,
also
portal windows.
Yeah, it's Safari windows and stuff. I had one of these in college in green that I bought from the son of like one of the original Range Rover engineers. It was a great car. I loved it, and I sold it to for just because I sold it. And
Yeah.
I do miss them, but those are my finds.
Very
for-
cool. That's
for
not what I
today.
expected.
Nice.
I found a 944 and I really like it. Joe has been making me want a 944 ever since I met him because he talks them up a lot. It's an NA,
Really slow.
93,000 miles, super slow, but this one looks to be in very good condition. It's in the Obsessed Garage Facebook
Nice.
group, which is like all these detailing nut people.
Is that like that's one of the first years? Is that the first
83
year?
has got to be a very early year.
Yeah. You could tell by the dash.
Yeah, 82 is the first year, so yeah, that's
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
early model. I think they're really cool. It's in. Is this guards red? What is this red? I think-
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah, yeah,
before
it's guards
guards?
red.
Yeah,
Guards
it's
red.
God's red.
I don't know. I really think that 944s look the best in red and
In
black.
white also. White.
I like white too. Yeah, I like white too.
Alpine white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But this thing looks really nice.
If you were to pick a car that, summarized the 80s, I think the 944 would be right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Still holds up to these days.
They're aging nicely.
They look
like,
nice, yeah.
Beautifully.
Yeah,
Totally.
they're slow as heck, which doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, they're great drivers.
That's how it should be.
I would
Yeah.
love this. I would like.
You can really push them. Like,
$8,000, and it's like 90
Yeah,
K miles is
$8,000
pretty decent.
is a pretty good price
It's
for
actually
an
like
That's a
way-
fair. It's a very fair price. I think.
Way
Yeah.
easier to live with and work on than a turbo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Turbos
yeah,
are-
that's
turbos
why.
are
That's why I
nightmares.
want and
Yeah.
this one. the NA.
Yeah.
Like any 80s turbo car is almost a bad idea,
Except for the Chevy Sprint Turbo.
except for that one. One exception.
And then we have VJ coming in hot with the
I think I'll let
hot
Joe.
boy stuff.
I'll let Joe talk about that.
Yeah, VJ had like a grouping of different cars.
Yeah, he's got a couple different submissions here, but this
thing
one
is
is
insane.
it's really ratty, but it's also
gross, yeah.
really it's really cool. It's a
An R34 for
R34 Skyline
1700?
sedan
With an LS swap.
with an LS swap, and it's
It's
like
our-
the more you go through the photos, like the less you want to buy the car.
Yeah.
Comes with all these parts though. Look at
The
this.
first thing that really, I know this is like a popular front end to have on them. I really don't like these.
And it's
bumpers.
falling off.
Looks very plasticky.
Yeah, it doesn't fit very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He got really angry trying to fit that.
Oh, for
that
sure.
Bumper.
And he's also got these hood. I just don't. This is for those hood
Like the
clips.
Hakusuka.
Yeah.
Original Hakusuka things.
Yeah, and it's cool, but like come on, man. Like the engine bay was where I kind of closed my visor.
Holy
It doesn't-
moly!
It's not even seated.
It ain't pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
They-
Wait.
they-
So did they cut things to do that?
Yes, it looks like this. The
So
like,
basically,
wheel
what
wells
happens
were
if you
cut.
get in a front end collision, you extreme death happens.
Yeah,
Like,
you die.
like
You die extremely.
You crash. The first thing that the car hits is the air filter. Yeah, and then the entire motor goes through the firewall and blows
and
up
into your chest. Yeah, the air filter is insane.
Is
on
your
this.
last line
It's
of defense.
actually insane.
The
Yeah.
last line of defense.
Wow,
Crash structure
that's insane.
gone.
That
yeah,
guy, he really wanted a LS in this car.
and I do like the cloth
You do?
centers
Are you joking?
on the interior.
It does look like public transit.
Yeah,
Which is good.
it looks like
Yeah.
AC transit seats.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It looks
There's a nice
exactly
stain in the
like
middle.
The orange line in Chicago from downtown to mid.
I wouldn't know, but I believe it. Yeah,
This-
so
this car is
VJ, it was
garbage.
really interesting that you chose this car.
This
as
car is
your-
absolutely garbage.
It's just like not. This is VJ is a person who takes 16 and a half years to decide what car he wants to buy. And,
2 years,
And
2 years.
this is the one he chose.
I bet you this LS is from like some truck too. It has
Oh,
like
dude.
5,000 RPM red line
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
it's
Yeah.
probably bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like a free. It's a 4.8. Yeah,
Turbo parts included. Wow.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Serious inquiries. I'm sorry, but the only people that are going to be contacting somebody about this car are not serious people.
Some crazy
They
people.
are not serious people. So VJ actually had a couple other really interesting ones in here.
Let's go straight to the van because I think that's interesting, and we'll be here all day.
I've
if,
never heard of this thing.
Where's the van?
the
It's a
white one.
diesel.
It's the R class,
The second.
Oh yeah, okay.
350 diesel.
An
All-
R350. I know. I'd never seen a diesel version.
Yeah, well, this
before.
is from Canada.
So Sean, R350 diesel, cop or drop?
Oh man, absolutely not.
Copper
Those were
Copper drop.
ugly when I first
Dude, I
saw them.
want-
That's a really good.
Yeah, that's
idea.
a good one. I just came up with it on the spot.
We're gonna use that. I think I'm gonna put that in my notes.
Dude, and when you see one of those on the street right now, they are beat to shit.
Yeah, they're all
open,
that's why.
really
They're all
bad.
just
They're on
completely
like their 16th owner.
Yeah.
They still have their original suspension system.
I think we were talking about like, aren't these suspension systems like super faulty on these?
Yeah,
Well,
the
they're
Airmatic
Airmatic.
is absolutely atrocious in this
you
car.
will-
Yeah.
If Airmatic goes on every corner in this car, it'll total the car.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, actually, one in nowadays, I think like one or two corners will total this car.
I've seen one on the freeway where a side was down.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like,
It's
oh
sketchy.
my god.
Yeah, my
And he was
dad
on the
had
freeway.
my dad had a W211 E, the E500, and it had Airmatic. And I remember as a kid, one of my friends came over, and he was like, "Did your dad lower his car? It looks really cool." And like that, we found out at that moment that one half of the car had
Nice.
lost all of its.
Yeah, they drive fantastic when they work, but
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, they were extremely expensive.
However, the AMG version of this.
Yeah,
the
that is
R63?
that is a unicorn. The
okay.
R63 is. I
would
will
love
buy
this.
that.
I would totally buy an R350 diesel, but the problem is this is from Canada.
Canada, yeah, you'll never
and
be
there's
able to register it.
absolutely no shot that this thing is getting into.
You bring it to California,
Yeah.
it's going to be $20,000 in
Literally, and not
emissions
even. It's not
fabrication.
worth it. It's. I mean, I would buy it and then put it on Montana plates and use it as a detail rig, but like, you know,
VJ really found some gems here.
Stuff.
Yeah.
This Chrysler is insanely cool.
Yeah.
That color is amazing.
We've had a couple of those come to the show, except
Pepto-
not the station
but
wagon
not in like
version of it.
Pepto Bismol
Yeah.
wow,
spec.
only 728 of them were made.
That's Mary
Is that a
Kay
tablet?
spec.
That could go to wavelengths.
Is that a
It's
tablet?
actually, so he's asking me what Pepto Bismol is. Pepto Bismol is
you have diarrhea a
it's-
lot.
It's a drink. You drink it, it's a laxative.
Yeah. It's not a laxative. It's like it's if you have like an upset stomach, so it
Oh,
calms your stomach.
but it
Oh,
does.
it's the opposite of what I
Isn't
could
it
say
also
then.
a diuretic? Doesn't it also make you
no,
go poop?
no, that's X-Lax
Oh, okay.
I mean, he knows.
or
he's a
instant
dad,
coffee.
Yeah, he is a dad. That's true. I don't know. This is a cool pair right here. I'd have a hard time
Candy
choosing.
painted Phantom wagon. Okay.
They're both so cheap. This is an interesting thing right now. I've been seeing like so many enthusiast mid-level and like mid and like and low-level value enthusiast cars go up for sale recently. I think because of the state of the economy, but like parts cars, like park cars, project cars, like so many on the market right now because nobody can afford to keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
shout
if
out-
anybody has a bunch of cash sitting around, it is a really good time
Just
to buy.
shout out to Ryan Bracken for sending me some of these links.
You said you think
Yeah. He posts a lot of wacky Craigslist finds. So.
that's funny.
Yeah.
And then there's this, which will be the end of our marketplace finds. But Have any of you guys ever driven a Model A or a Model T?
Nope.
It is
No.
thrilling.
He'll trade you for El Camino. Which
For
fits.
$4,500, just buy the dang Model A.
Dying thing.
I mean, I would love to buy it. Please know what's a low ball at $4,500.
Runs and
$2.
drives.
$2,000.
The
local
owner says
too.
they drive it nearly every day. How are they still alive?
My uncle has a Model A and a Model T, and I got to drive both of them, and it is a trip.
What is that? Is that a nitrous tank in the back? What is that?
That's the gas.
No,
tank.
Fuel tank.
Fuel tank, I think. Yeah.
Or a bomb.
A bomb.
It'll get you to
It's a pipe bomb.
It'll get you from Livermore to Berkeley in the tank.
Yeah. 12
That's the
miles.
old Targa Florio route.
I've seen that before. Didn't
Carrera
Vin
Pan
Diesel
America.
drive one of those in the Fast and the Furious where he?
I think he
used
took
a,
that one to space.
Gone in 60 seconds, actually.
He
yeah.
used the top of a can to activate like turbos or something on there. You see that? It's a turbo.
I have not watched any of those movies. So.
They're awful, but totally.
Okay, so in a very tangential world, we're going to go into our projects and project updates right
How
now.
do we get my car?
Which one?
I actually texted to you.
What?
I texted to you.
You-
My car that I was actually interested in that I found on the marketplace.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you
I
find?
ain't paying attention to it.
What'd you send me? You didn't send me shit.
No, you said it. You can see it.
Is he serious?
I did. I sent it to you. Pull up your text. I texted to you. She'd be on your computer.
You like just texted to me, bro. You texted it to me like a minute ago.
What is it? It's the last one. Is it a wind plate in
Hold
the
up,
ground?
1 second. No, 1 second.
It's a wind plate in the ground.
Basically, yeah.
It's a wind in the ground. GMC fire.
Wow.
That's a good
Why
one.
is it $1,000?
Bro.
Yeah, I don't know why he's even.
Do you
selling
get
it.
paid $1,000 to take it? Or?
So here's a 1901 GMC Fire for $1,000. The reason why I
1901.
chose this is because it's a 1901. I don't even know if that's even true or not.
GMC even exist in
I
1901?
doubt it. But you
General
know,
Motors
if that
Fire.
was a Ferrari, how much that would go for?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
1.2.
it
It didn't exist. GMC
Fake-
didn't exist.
Fake news. Fake news.
Fake
Anyway,
news.
all right, Sean. Great find.
Thanks,
Great
Sean.
find.
Mood.
It looked like
Hashtag mood.
It's a mood.
it
Yeah.
looked like an AI generated image of a burnt car.
Okay, project updates. Joe, you've been doing a lot on the 280T, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
kinda
really
your
need to.
project right now?
I'm trying to get the car running well so I can then paint it and then sell it so I can never see it again. And so we smoke tested it last week on Monday.
What is that? You just like hotbox it and make sure it all stays in.
Yeah, well, basically, I think that they just put a smoke machine into one of the inlets.
Yeah, yeah.
And they just see
where it comes out.
where it comes out. We found 2 different spaces in air intake hoses that were bad, so we need to replace them. I need to find a place that replaces them because this motor is really hard to find parts for. So that's the next project. It's running pretty good though right now. I mean, like we've done a lot in the past week and a half.
Are you driving it? Did you drive it today?
No, I drove the truck today. to
Oh, yeah, that's right.
bring these,
Bring the
but
chairs.
I've been daily driving the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and it's getting good. It's feeling better. The vacuum was on full retard, literally full retard, and
Remove retard.
retard is the thing. The vacuum was
Go for it.
On retard.
on full retard.
You gotta say retard.
On full retard.
Yeah.
Past tense.
It was retarding.
Retarding
Yeah.
fully.
It was
It was
fully,
Retarding
fully
fully.
retarding. Yeah. Don't
Now
cut
it's not. Now it's not. So it's running much better now.
Cool. I can't wait till you sell that car. Okay, Sean, let us know how comfortable you are sharing your.
I'm not very
project.
comfortable at all. And I'm not comfortable with you asking me.
Okay, well,
So let
I'll
me set the scene real quick.
I'll move on to the other car.
I
How
will
is
set
your
let me set the
Mercedes
scene
going?
for the audience.
Yeah.
So I'm at home last weekend. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna have a nice, relaxing. day.
Hey! I gave you a whole day's heads up. I told you the day before
No, but I was gonna fake.
you were gonna flake. That's why I called you that morning.
Just kidding. So Rob goes, "Hey, can we borrow the 964 for a shoot?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I come to the warehouse. we're hustling, getting all the cars out of the warehouse, and not paying any attention. As I'm backing up, and I hear a bloop,
Crunch.
and my car goes up, and I'm like, "Oh, what is that?"
And I didn't even see. I was sitting outside the garage. I
Yeah,
didn't
Rob
even
was
see
my
the
spotter.
box.
He was my spotter.
I was sitting in a car,
Yeah.
driving a car.
And then it bloomed again. I'm like, "What the hell was that?" And then I get out of the car, and I notice I ran over a box, and I'm thinking it was actually one of the boxes for some of the detail cleaner.
Kind of figured it was like a Vault box with like random shirts or something in it, you know.
But no. The same story I shared last week about being excited, having my Datsun, my Rebella motor done. It was the ECU and the coils for the.
It's like a $1,500 part.
God.
So yes, I crunched it with the 964.
Yeah.
Brand new. So yeah, major L for
Did it
me
make
this
a
week.
nice sound?
It did.
Okay.
It did. I'm hoping. I broke the clips. I'm hoping that maybe
dude,
I
I
can
think-
send it in
I think you can repair.
to get it repaired.
Like there's so much in that can be
Yeah.
still be used. Like basically the entire unit could still be used. I think you could probably fix it.
Yeah. So
It's just the housing. Like they can just take the plastic housing off and put a new housing on. You know, if they're willing. to
That's
do
what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. So
Because it was just there's like these little tabs on the male end of the housing on both sides that like broke, but everything else is fine, and the pins are okay. They're just bent.
they just bent.
You
Yeah.
bend them
I
back.
bent it right back though, so it seemed to
Yeah,
work
they'll
fine.
probably be fine. As
Nothing
long
that
as
maybe
there's still
some zip
contact.
ties and electrical tape won't fix.
It'll be just like my E30.
The whole car runs on those
No one
things,
sees your ECU. Just make it work.
running on zip ties and tape.
yeah. I got my full oil capacity in zip ties.
Bro, it sucks. You know, you spend a lot of money. The reason why you spend a lot of money on a motor is because you don't want to have to deal with
Stuff
zip
like
ties
that.
and
Yeah.
electrical tape. And
Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
what
it's
it
too
is.
bad.
So it's fine.
Add
Other
another-
than that, Mercedes, the 450 SLC, we're moving along on that. We're finishing up some wiring, and we're thinking that we should be done by the end of the year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
that's like a 3-year project now or something, right?
Yeah. So I've only seen the car once.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're
Which should be
balling.
dope. No.
You buy a car and you never see it, and it comes back to you with an LS.
Thing was like $4,000.
That's how you
So
know
was
you're
it?
balling.
During COVID, so it wasn't really that much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's 2 of those stipend checks from the government,
Yeah, literally.
or 3. I don't know how much they were. They were like 1,000 each.
I don't remember.
Anyway, my update is I swapped my diff this week on the E30, and it completely changed that car. I have to do my drive shaft coupler thing. I don't know, what is it called?
I just call it the donut.
Yeah, I got to do my donut.
But I'm not sure that's not a technical term, but
Anyway, yeah, it's a ton of fun. It have some leaks on like the right side of the motor that I have no idea what they are, but it's like coming out of the valve cover.
so the valve cover leak.
There's some on the top of the valve cover, but then I think there's some on
But
the.
I'm pretty sure
head.
my dad did a seal on that.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
your
did.
head gasket's leaking.
Did the valve cover? I know it could be the head gasket, but it's you can see oil pooling on the top of the valve cover, tiny amount like around the rim of it, which is really weird.
Maybe your oil cap is bad. My oil cap is bad on the 280.
Oh, I remember.
Whenever I floor
that
it,
is a
oil
thing.
blows up into the rest of the top of the motor. So I'm like, I open the hood, I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh, it's just the oil cap.
Okay,
It's probably that. You should
there we
check.
go.
Those are cheap. Try that first.
That's good to know. I did a oil cap swap when I put that motor in.
Well, I mean, 2 of them probably aren't broken, so maybe there's more things.
So yeah, that's my big E30 update. Thing's a lot of fun. Still would love to sell it. So if anybody wants to buy it, you can have it.
Yeah, I think you should keep it, bro.
Yeah. VJ's got some big updates, big moves, big things going on in VJ's
Big things
world.
coming for the build.
VJ's beat.
Yeah, what's good with the Beat?
I've got wheels that are looking pretty modern on that car. It's a 1993 Honda Beat. And I really want Steelies, which are like the telephone dial designs that the original Beat had.
Did you get it yet?
What's that?
Yeah. He's
Oh
had
no,
it
I'm
for-
thinking of Kevin. Kevin's on a boat.
No, Jacob.
Jacob's on the
Jacob
sorry.
Bauer
Bauer.
arrived yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, it
Which
did?
can we?
Yesterday?
It did?
Yes. Can
The
we?
yellow
But can
one?
we also? Yes, it arrived yesterday. But can we also have a moment of silence for Jake Bauer and his Mark 7 GTI,
The hell is
which
what have I
yesterday
missed?
got? No, he called me yesterday. This happened yesterday. He got rear-ended on Highway 24 in
Oh,
a
it's gone.
4-car pileup.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gone.
no kidding.
It's gone. Yeah,
and
that car.
He was stopped.
That
yeah,
car
this
is-
car he has poured so much into.
Yeah, that Mark 7's gone.
And it was. If you see the photos, it might be salvageable. It might not be an actual total, but
on a rear end on a GTI.
Yeah.
On a hatch.
yeah,
Damn.
it's pretty bad. He said the roof is okay, but he was stopped on the highway in traffic, and 2 cars behind him didn't stop.
Well, glad he's okay.
GTI,
Yeah,
one
I
of the
know,
safest cars in the
right?
world.
You know,
One
they're
of the
what?
safest cars in the market.
They're the safest.
One of the safest.
Yeah, he was
Golfs.
totally fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, GTIs are really good.
I mean, really shaken up, obviously, but Jake, I'm sorry. That sucks. And that's his first crash.
Yikes.
Let's go get
This is
another
the
one.
First crash he's ever been in. Yeah, dude, but I mean, he should take that insurance payment and go buy something
It's crazy.
that he really wants.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these
I mean,
days,
he
they're
did
still worth
say
like 30
he did
grand.
say it's like that's like his forever car. You know, that's like his love.
Wait, how many times have we all said that?
Yeah. Pour one
Yeah,
out.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm just
Beat.
glad.
But
But
my
the point
beat-
of that, I'm just glad he wasn't in his beat. Because if he
Yes.
was in his beat,
Oh,
he would have been.
that beat would be like
A puddle.
this big at this
Yeah,
point.
it'll be like
I'm
crunched
Yeah.
into
very,
into
very
a soda can.
Grateful.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, beat.
Send me telephone dial wheels.
What size are the wheels on that?
I
12?
think fronts are 13, rears are 14.
2.5.
Stagger.
13, 14 staggered? Okay,
Staggered
it's
for
a
performance.
V8
It's
motor car.
staggered.
For performance.
It's like
because
like
it's a
an
real
E39
sports car.
M5.
I got
basically.
some mini wheels.
Oh, there's the Steelies.
Oh.
They're cool. Those are like 10s, aren't they?
Probably not.
I think they're actually
8 or 9.
10s.
8 or 9 solid.
They're like this big. They're like
I'm going to be
pancakes.
slammed.
You should do it, dude.
Yeah, maybe it'll be
Put some
slammed.
hydraulics on it with some 10-inch.
Lay
Before you get
frame.
the hydraulics, all this shit's not
I mean,
gonna
I
do
could
anything.
I could use a straw to blow the bags. The car weighs like 1,600 pounds.
I've encountered a lot of brain rot Honda Beat content on Instagram lately.
Yeah.
It's
Content that your last 2 brain
content
cells
that
can
rots
watch.
your brain. It's just like
Yeah.
total
Like elongated and crunched.
Yeah, yeah. You know
videos.
the one I'm talking about, right? The one
UTM
doing
trick.
circles. Yeah, UTM trick. So anyway, if anybody has Beat wheels out there and wants to sell them, help out our boy VJ. This is a really good segment to follow up on some of these nostalgic builds that we've been talking about. Automotive smells.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually a topic that I think I only really became aware of after I met Joe and got to know Joe, because he brought it up like early when I met him, and like the smells of early BMWs, and I was
Yes.
like, oh my god, that's such a thing. So Joe, we'll start with you.
Yeah,
What are your top 3 automotive smells?
Yeah, so on this week's revolving segment, my top 3 automotive smells, which you really have to be in them to
We're
experience.
going to run out of cars.
But so my first one is the 90s Mercedes heater smell.
I know exactly.
You have to. It could be like an 88 or 89, but it can't be like an 85 for some reason. And every car I mean, in high school and college, they were all my dad's
The
cars.
129 had that smell.
Yeah, 129s, 126s are like really good at this. 124s, all that stuff. But like, they like mix the perfect amount of coolant smell with like interior cabin smell to create this like really nice and comfortable like you can't like, I mean, they might have not been engineering the smell, but like this,
It's
like,
hard to believe
it
they
makes
didn't.
it feel like the car is engineered to smell like this when the heater's on.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Tesla Model S's have the exact same smell.
Really?
Yeah. Which makes me think that they were engineered like
To do that.
They were engineered to do that, to make it smell like that. Because the Tesla Model S, when the heater's on, smells identical to a 90s Mercedes when the heater's on.
Wow, fascinating.
So that's something I noticed when I was like detailing a Tesla. I'm like, oh, this shit is. I would totally buy a Tesla Model S
Just for that
specifically
smell.
because in the
Stockholm
cold they would smell
syndrome.
like a Mercedes.
Yes, Stockholm syndrome.
The second one is a 90s GM truck. This isn't because of the truck that's outside right now. It's because when I was in my K through 8 school, one of my friends' moms drove a GM Suburban around.
Oh, interesting.
And so like it has an extreme, and I would she would drive around to all the field trips and shit, and I would go with her. And the smell brings back a lot of nostalgia. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
And then 70s to 2000s BMWs interior smell is my third. That's a pretty iconic smell, namely in the 80s and the 90s. E28s and E34s. They all smell the same, even if they've been kind of like beaten up. They all kind of like have this like weird
What's
carpet.
the source of the smell?
I don't know. I have no idea what it
It's
is.
Joe.
plastic?
Joe's the source of this.
Yeah, I wish I could
I'm
tell
guessing
you.
it's a leather on the carpet.
It's probably leather and like
and
I'm sure some
plastic.
of the like pieces in like the
Insulation, glue,
Yeah.
plastics.
yeah the glues on the
Because
door cards.
my
and
white
stuff.
E28 had a cherry air freshener in it, and I took it out, and I took the carpet out because I wanted to try to get back to that original smell. Took the carpet out. I like steam cleaned everything and put the carpet back in, and it came back a little bit, but it still had that cherry smell to it. So it has to do something with like just the body of the car.
Yeah, this is why I don't like eating inside my car. It kind of removes the smell to an extent.
For at least a few days. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like when
Yeah.
Allie like brings food home in her Corolla, even the Corolla has a distinct smell to it, and it destroys the smell for a few days. So I avoid
Interesting.
food at all costs.
Yep.
Sean, what do you got?
I was going to second Joe on the BMW smell because they are so distinctive, especially that 90s smell of a BMW. Second would probably be what comes to mind. It's probably the smell of like an old Buick or an old Skylark, or Buick or Plymouth, I should say. They just have a real distinctive like grandma. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly. My Camaro has a little bit of that smell.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
slightly dying a little bit.
Yeah,
like slightly.
kind of
dead.
smells like grandma's living room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what musty.
Because those
Musty.
things are living rooms, right? Those cars. are-
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I know
Like,
exactly the
dad's-
smell.
My,
That's
my,
crazy.
my grandpa's Lincoln that my dad inherited,
Sure, there
that
you
car
go.
smelled exactly like musty,
Yes.
old, like nostalgic.
Yes.
I get that.
Is it because
that's
it's
just
cold,
water?
or is it their smell?
I think it's water that eventually becomes mold.
Yeah.
in those cars.
They're not exactly sealed.
Yeah,
none
I
of
think,
them are
I think
sealed.
that's
right?
more of like a hazard smell, but
Yeah.
like it's still good. It's a good smell.
They're porous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right before it becomes a
Porous
hazard, that smell, right? Like if you go into the USS Hornet and you walk through that boat,
Yeah.
and then you drive into it and you get into a Lincoln Town car, same smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is such a distinct smell.
Yeah.
It's not too far off from like the GMC truck, 80s, 90s GM
Yeah.
GM
Yeah.
truck smell.
That
Yeah.
is, I think the GM truck is a lot of fabric.
Yeah, cloth.
material, cloth.
That's like what I think of when I think of like cloth interior, like 90s Civics and Accords.
They smell pretty similar.
Similar kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do smell similar.
My third one doesn't bring me comfort, but it's staying on the GM line.
Airbag smell. The smell of an airbag going
It's the smell of a GM, like when you have like a coolant problem or a bad thermostat.
Yeah,
It seems to be with like GM cars
Yeah.
in particular.
yeah. My 78 Chevy smelled the same exact way when I got it.
It smells dangerous.
Yeah, it just smelled like
it's going to be all bad. When you start smelling, you're like, oh my god.
smelled like it had
Especially
the
those
wrong
cars.
radiator and no cooling system. Yeah.
Car overheating.
Yeah,
smell.
it is. But it's funny how different the overheating car smell is between marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good one. I really like the Buick Skylark kind of. Okay, mine might be a little bit less relatable, but the 50s MG one is like such a distinct smell to me. That is shared with, I'd say, other British cars from the 50s and like maybe early 60s, but even once you get up to like MGBs.
Are these roadsters with no top?
Yeah, and they have a smell. I know, it's crazy, but they have a smell. Well, they have tops. The TDs had like
Cloth
a hand
top.
cloth top.
Yeah.
But that car just had such a specific smell. And I think some of it is like the exhaust smell, like driving with leaded fuel, which we would add lead to that car.
Yeah.
And the smell of oil constantly everywhere on
Yeah.
the ground, everywhere you go, all that kind of stuff. That's a very specific nostalgic smell to me. We had a MG growing up, and
Yes.
Yeah, it sat in the garage. Every time you start it, you would know for 2 days that somebody drove it because the entire house would smell like exhaust from the car.
Sounds like my car.
It always made me wonder what it was like to live in like pre-war America or like 40s or 50s America. You know, like everything would have just smelled like exhaust fumes all the time. That and like cigarette smoke. So there's that. There's like no way. Again? Okay, so moving on from the 50s MG, Joe, you can probably relate to this one. The W211 Mercedes generation. That, I don't even know how to describe it, but I think Mercedes like tended to have very strong interior smells.
And very strong interiors.
Yeah, that I loved. That was like on the cusp of like the end of Mercedes and like last good interiors. I think like the quality kind of went downhill. That was like really good leather. You had that E55 that had that.
Yeah, and that one had the designer leather too.
Yeah,
so
that was really nice.
Really good, really nice.
I loved that car so much. It was the first model year of the 211. It was the E500, and it had the stupidest pop-up like center console cup holder that only lasted for 1 year because it was so problematic.
Yep.
So yeah, those.
You know what that smell is mixed with? It's just the smell of like old, like 90 or 2000s cologne.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them.
It smells like you're driving home from work.
Yes, it smells like you
bathe in cologne.
Yeah,
it's hard to describe that.
It smells like you're wearing a suit even when you're dressed.
Exactly,
like me.
it's a suit wearing. Yeah, my which is definitely engineered, but like my grandpa had an E500.
Just like it just smells like fancy.
Yeah, 2004 E500, and whenever I drove in it, I would distinctly remember the smell, and I was always like, "This smells like this," because he just got out of the office.
But it was just how it smelled.
And then I got my E55, and I'm like, holy shit, this is exactly the same smell. And I'm like, this guy was like, I bought it from some like dumbass who obviously does not go to an office. So like, I was like,
nice.
Smells like cool water and leather.
Joe, what's
like
the guy's handle?
Blow him up on IG. He lied a lot about.
Anyway, the last one is the like mid to late 2000s and early 2010s Lexus. And I didn't realize this was a smell until very recently, actually, because I grew up in like middle school. My parents got an RX 400 or whatever, the SUV thing, 350, yeah. And it's almost like a hand sanitizer smell. It's like a very sterile and clean smell, but like not in a bad way, not in like an offensive way.
A warm smell.
Yeah, it just smells very clean. And I only realized it when I drove Matt's ISF.
Yeah, they smell the same.
And it smells exactly the same way.
Yep.
He has an 08 ISF, and my parents' Lexus was a 06, or 07 actually. Yeah, that's a really weird, and I always thought it was because like it was my mom's car, and she's an ER doctor, so she's like always hand sanitizing and clean and stuff. So I was like, oh, it's just because like my mom keeps 18 million gallons of hand sanitizer in her car, but it's actually the smell of the car. Yeah,
Sweet.
That's me. What do you got, VJ?
So mine's probably not relatable because like my family got their first car when I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
So until then, like all four of us, like my mom, dad, my sister and myself, we traveled everywhere on a motorcycle around the place. Yeah. So like the smell, all those motorcycles.
The two strokes?
Yeah, like we did have
smell.
Yeah, the later motorcycle he had was a 4-stroke, but carbureted. But the earlier one, which he had, was a Suzuki Samurai. I don't know if you heard of it. Suzuki made a 2-stroke motorcycle, which would consume half its oil tank in a week. So like the main memory I have of that 2-stroke motorcycle was that beast, absolute beast. It sounds like amazing.
That picture in the back, the picture right there, the third one, there's oil in the back. Like oil smoke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. There's literally oil smoke.
Yeah, it burns.
I know it's just burning oil.
It's just like filling gas, right? So the main.
That's crazy. You saw that from the thumbnail.
Okay, my 280 does that every morning.
Yeah. You fill gas and you fill oil in it at the same time.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Every stop.
Yeah, so I'm like, when people say the RX-7 consumes oil, I'm like, that's
You
cute.
know nothing. Yeah.
So like main memory of that bike was like when my father was like, before a journey he has to top up the oil. So I used to help him top up the oil. So it was like the smell of oil, the smell of
That's funny.
unburnt hydrocarbons.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was the main smell that I remember from
That's
that
funny.
era. And then when we got our first car, it was a Suzuki Alto.
Ooh,
Which
the
is-
Alto Works is a cool
No,
car.
no.
I know. I know.
Great was a 3 actually.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is a 45 horsepower hatchback.
The Ultraworks had 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a hatchback, 45 horsepower, manual steering, wind down windows in 2006.
Mechanic special.
Wow.
2006.
2006.
Yeah, it was probably a 3-cylinder fuel injected
Yeah.
engine, and yeah, it had the cheap plastic interior smell, which was like the most luxurious thing I had experienced until then.
That's like my
Yeah.
the Sprint Turbo has the same exact smell.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that was the introduction to car smells for me. Yeah, I mean, like after having experienced all these things, when I go back home and drive like a cheap hatchback, which is like only 50 horsepower, like I feel like
Like
feel
your
like
home.
yeah, I feel like home, and it's so fun to hustle all of what it has.
Yeah.
Like you can use all of it all the time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
squeal the tires and like go over bumps and do jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so cheap to fix them as well. So that's the main memory of smells I had early on. And now I have like a douchebag car, which is a 2011 Cayman, which has the typical Porsche smell.
Yeah.
That's a
That
good smell,
it does have a very strong
which I
smell.
try to preserve by
Reminds
not
me of 997s. It's the same.
same
Yeah,
thing.
my 986 had a similar smell to his car too.
Yeah, I try to preserve that Porsche smell by not eating inside the car.
Mm.
Also,
There you go.
That's how it is.
And driving it 40 million miles every year.
By
That's what it did
Ubering it.
for.
Yeah, Ubering it. Yeah, that's good. It's funny how much the two-stroke motorcycle smell and sound is like so ingrained in my mind.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
and like that sob, that two-stroke sob from the
Yeah.
50s.
Oh, the one that comes to Sano is
it's
hilarious.
so funny.
Yeah.
There was one of those racing at Le Mans. I
where
think
they
I
like
remember talking
can't they
about
can't rev down because of like
Yeah.
something, I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah.
There's some sort of engineering involved, but like they floor it and then it's like
it. It just drops
can-
really
yeah,
slowly.
they barely can rev down.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
one. All right, what's our scenario? Joe, do you want to walk us
Yeah,
through this?
I'll
Want to
read
read
it.
this bad boy?
So
So wait, this is a fun segment Joe came up with.
yeah, so the segment.
yourself-
actually, I didn't come up with it. My dad and I were talking about it, and he
Okay,
came
but
up with it.
set the scene a little bit. So
Yeah.
where are we going?
So today we're going in modern day California, maybe like 10 years in the future.
maybe like tomorrow actually.
Yeah,
It sounds
I
like
can actually
tomorrow.
see this happening. And for reference, I sit down at the computer when I do this, and I start writing words, and I just start doing something. So like the first words I wrote today were in California, and so I started doing something.
Yeah.
So bear with me here.
This is
But
either California or Germany.
yeah.
Very,
So-
very applicable.
The scenario is in California, auto manufacturers have teamed up with the local government to force consumers to use only cars that are between 0 to 3 years old for daily driving purposes. They enforce this rule by installing a device in every single car that tracks mileage. Cars covering more than 1,000 miles a month are considered daily drivers. Every other car below that monthly mileage is considered a luxury item and will be in a different tax bracket based on the mileage you drive them per year. If you tamper with it or don't install the device at all in any of your cars, and you go through a toll or you get pulled over, the car will immediately get impounded and it'll be sent to Greenpeace to be used as a planter box. So
This is real. This
is
is
what you
real
think about, Joe?
legislation.
Even though this is imaginary, it sounds very real.
It
Because
sounds like a real press release.
it sounds very real because they'll invest in anything other than good public transport. So.
right. So the two fundamental questions that I have are: you can only own a car. You can only daily drive a car that is between 0 and 3 years old. So what car are you leasing as a daily driver based off of your current budget and your current needs?
Current budget.
Well, you gotta go.
We
with
have
that.
current budget.
Just off of what your life is like. And then
Where's
number
the
two,
budget? Is the budget in the room with me right now?
and the last question is: does the new tax law for luxury items affect how you look at your collection? And would you get rid of anything because of the new tax law? So it makes you kind of think about your collection
and what you drive.
and you kind of wonder what is worth keeping if you're going to be taxed extra on it and you're not using it. I look
Sean's
at Sean
killing.
mostly because Sean has so many cars and he drives them all, but like,
Yeah, but he doesn't
That's-
drive them enough to be in that mileage constraint.
well, the mileage constraint is just to define a daily driver. You're taxed based off how many miles you're using your cars, but like you're still being taxed. So I asked the question, namely because would you? It kind of forces you to think of. Do you have cars in your collection that like you really don't use much, and would you get rid of them if you're going to be charged more to register them or something? So
I have
So let's go. Let's do yours first then.
I have a 14-letter word for you.
14-letter word.
MontanaLLC.com.
Exactly. I'm in my businesses right now. I'm like, there's a way around this.
I am. Yeah, my solution for this for a daily driver would be to revisit last week's scenario and move to Montana full time. I would leave California. Yeah, it's a tough
What if
question.
you couldn't leave California?
Couldn't leave California.
You just have to choose a car that's 0 to 3 years old, right?
Yeah, so I would take my Volvo and VIN swap it with a newer Volvo. God, I would definitely have to sell my Volvo because that's what I put the most miles on. I'd probably maybe sell the E30 because I drive it a lot. I mean, I've dailied it for the last like 3 weeks basically. God, but with that, I'd have a lot of budget. So maybe like a GR Corolla on lease.
Dude, you took mine.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to do it. Actually, you know what? I would change that. I'd do a Civic Type R.
No, take the
I'd do a
GR
Civic,
Corolla.
no, I want the Civic
You
Type R.
already taken it.
No, but I want the Civic Type. I think the Civic Type R looks a lot better.
Spoiler alert: the GR Corolla sucks to drive around in daily stuff. It's good when you're pushing it on a back road.
So anyway, I'd take a Civic Type R, the new Type R on lease, or either that or an Integra Type R.
Yeah,
One of those two.
New one.
Take it out of the car.
I think I could, if I sold one of my two cars, then I can allocate that budget, and that'd be
Nice.
within reason. But I would definitely have to sell both of those cars because I wouldn't be able to daily drive them or drive them over 1,000 miles a year. And I definitely put like 1,000 miles a month on my E30.
You can keep a car that if you drive it less than 1,000 miles a year, you just get taxed on them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm not paying taxes on that.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. I can't believe California's doing this.
And the crazy thing is I wrote it and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I could see this happening. And
Yeah.
by 2035 or
This
that
is
whole
the kind of thing that would go up on Instagram and
People love
it would not get marked as false
Yeah, yeah,
news.
yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, oh yeah, this is
We're gonna
actual
post it on
news.
Valt in 2 weeks. See what happens.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
Sean,
So 0 to 3 years for daily driving purposes.
Based off your budget and your needs.
Based off the budget and needs. Well, honestly, I was going to say the Corolla
Yeah.
would be something, but it would kind of be going backwards. So I'd probably still stick with my M2 as a daily driver.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's still new enough, right?
It's still new enough. You can daily drive it or
Yeah.
whatever the case.
is the RS6 Avant less than 3 years old?
You can get a new one.
It
Yeah.
is, but is I kind of put when
Who
I
sold that?
in having luxury cars, I kind of
2019.
put on my business hat at the same time, where I just don't like being married to that stuff.
Yeah.
Especially, I've seen the economy go bad. I've seen where car prices, change over.
Yeah,
the
new
years.
cars just suck.
Yeah, dude. It's just not. It's not worth it. Any new cars I buy, it's like to get rid of at the same time. So I'm looking at, okay, what do I think this is going to be at in a couple of years? Will I be able to get rid of it?
Yeah.
So I was looking at like even the RS6.
Yeah.
Is I saw a new one sell for like 92,000. Or a
Recently?
used one sell for 92,000.
Yeah.
And I just sold mine a few months ago and I got
It's like 6 months now.
25,000 more just by selling it when I sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sold it at the right time.
At the right time, exactly.
So you were like 2 months
Yeah,
away from
yeah.
losing that money.
Yeah. So yeah, you try to buy, desirable cars that you can, that people like, and you can get rid of them. So
Yeah.
but so yeah, it would definitely be the M2. And then like for an old car that I'd be taxed on.
Yeah, what would you reconsider
Yeah,
your collection?
would you get rid of anything in your collection currently?
Or would you just swap it over to your Montana, like send it to your house in Montana?
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't cheat it. If my financial situation changed and I had to get rid of everything,
Yeah.
and I could probably keep one, I'd probably say, I probably
Keep the
it's
964. Yeah, you got to
Yeah, I
keep
mean
that.
that's probably like
It's a lifetime
irreplaceable.
car. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be paying.
It's probably
out,
worth paying the tax for.
Be
too.
paying out your butt.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
buy that car again.
Like cars
Exactly.
like the 944 are not expensive enough to
No,
pay a tax.
that's like
on.
my E30.
No,
I would
no,
not
no,
keep my
no.
E30. Yeah, the 964 is also, you could pay taxes on driving that for the rest of your life, and you'd never spend more than the appreciative value of the car.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I mean,
Off
every
of
other
what you
thing,
bought
I
it
mean,
for.
they're in good condition, but you can always find good condition cars if the situation ever changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Except for 964 turbos, those are kind of not that easy to find.
Yeah.
with funny wheels.
With funny wheels, yeah. Alex Penfold was out last weekend, and he made fun of Sean's wheels
Really? Why did he make fun of Sean's wheels?
because he's got roof
He
wheels.
goes,
on.
those are funny wheels.
He's like, yeah, we'll put it back there so you can't see the funny wheels.
Yes, you love funny wheels.
That's funny.
Just because they're not stock.
Yeah, I get it.
Joe,
I mean, I've been thinking like a long time about leasing cars because I kind of need something modern in my life currently, even without this scenario. And I feel like a cop-out answer is probably GTI, because they just do everything well
yeah.
for the most part.
Except for capacitive touch.
Yeah, that's the problem. The capacitive
Except the
touch.
what?
The,
Capacitive touch.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have physical buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no physical buttons. So
The
my-
new Porsches actually have that, and it's so annoying.
yeah, my current like my practical answer would be the GTI. I'll just leave it at that for right now because we're going long. But in terms of the tax law, like I would just get rid of the wagon. I think the M5 is worth keeping, but
Yeah,
the
for
wagon
sure.
would go,
For
and
sure,
I would
sure.
probably just keep one classic car.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't the M5, if I sold the M5, I would replace it with something else, but never buy a third car.
Yep. How about you, VJ? Are you keeping the beat?
Yeah, so I have just two cars. The Cayman will have to go because I drive it like 5 million miles a year.
Yeah.
So the Beat obviously can stay because even if I drive it for 12 hours, it moves only 5 miles. So it won't cross the 1,000-mile limit. Yeah. So that stays, and I'll have to get a replacement for the Cayman. Maybe I'll lease a Lexus LC500 with the
Oh, cool.
Nice
yeah,
V8.
The V8.
yeah, it's
yeah.
a sweet NAV8.
They're really pretty.
Car's really beautiful. It's aging well. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
How much are those right now?
Like
They're
80,
not cheap.
80 something.
Oh, they're
90,
$80,000. Okay.
90.
Because I really am serious about. I need LC5. I do need a not
Oh,
$100,000.
it's gone up.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
need a dealer
I know
driver.
they're comps with AMG GTs. That's like where they're.
I don't know why I was
benchmarking
thinking.
them.
I was thinking IAS 500.
Oh.
They,
no, LC500 is like a beautiful coupe.
Oh my God, they're.
Two-seater.
No, what?
The same price?
No, that's the 4-door one.
Oh, that's the AMG GT. Oh, those are horrible.
The only problem with the LC was it was late to the game.
Well,
Like, there were
Lexus is
so many-
always late, you know.
Yeah, there were so many better cars.
yeah,
for
they
what-
just
what
do
you
this.
have.
They develop these things forever, and
This
then
car is they're absolutely fantastic.
5
Yeah.
years later than everybody else. But yeah, I think they're
If
amazing.
you see these driving down the road, you're like, holy shit!
Every
this
time
is
I see one, I
fantastic.
freak out.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
such a beautiful
absolutely
car.
freak
They're
out.
gonna
You get it in
It's
the
gonna be a
press color
classic.
red.
It'd be some easily be a classic.
It'll be a classic. Yeah.
If you get it in red, the press color,
Yeah.
that is insane. That
Yeah.
color,
It's
like,
a really beautiful
The
color. I
wheels,
saw
I
a
don't like
couple
the
of Car
wheels,
Week.
though.
and the right lighting is like out of the
Yeah,
world.
you don't like
out
the
of this
wheels?
world.
I don't like the wheels.
Yeah, I hate those wheels. These are
You-
some concept car wheels.
Yeah, you can get other wheels though. I mean,
Yeah.
you can definitely. Get
And
other wheels.
the interior is pretty freaking.
yeah, I've detailed a few of
awesome.
them, and they're awesome. The door panels,
like, oh, look at these. I love this.
and the door panels have this like cascading like stitching, which is amazing. I mean, like the car and the door panel cascading stitching also goes into the interior and I think into the back also.
Whoa.
See that cascade right there? That's such a in person. That's
Yeah,
really
that's
nice.
awesome.
It's
Is
what
that
Mercedes-
Alcantara seats or is that cloth?
That's perforated.
This
leather.
is,
Perfect
what, this is
leather.
what Mercedes dreams to be.
Yeah, right. That's like
Wow.
only can dream of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like just the L class, whatever. What is it? Not the L class. The LS, the big sedan.
GS?
Mercedes. No.
Mercedes, yeah.
The
Lexus.
LS, the Lexus version of the S class.
Sure.
Has
Thought it was
the same
GS.
interior as this. So if you can get like
Dude,
you
look
get
at
like
the
an
red,
LS
that's
600,
cool.
an LS 600 with like a big V8 in it,
Yeah.
looks just like this inside, and they're also like amazing.
Yeah, that's a great answer, VJ.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
fast as hell, right?
Yeah, they're like
I'd
500
actually
horsepower.
looked at one of these.
You should have got
like-
one. That would be amazing.
I mean, if you looked at what
Soul.
when those came out, if
Soul.
you looked at what Audi was doing, BMW, everything was just better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Mercedes.
is more of a long.
I mean, the AMG GT is definitely a better car.
Yeah, the Mercedes.
This is definitely a car you keep forever, and
Or a
you,
Porsche.
and you kind of like treat it as like a road trip kind of car.
It's a great.
Because I was
GT
trying to
car,
sell my
yeah.
wine clients on it, and they're like, that's a cool car, but like it's like not sexy.
It's kind of like what I think of as like a
Which
like the previous gen Vantage being, where it's like it's just this wonderful
It
experience.
was not
GT.
appreciated initially.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't sell a ton of these
Exactly,
either,
because the
so-
911 was
No.
there. People.
Well, the
just
old
bought
G
that.
Vantages, they sold tons of those.
Yeah, the
They were
2006 to 2009 era, they did not sell them enough.
Here's
yeah,
another
yeah.
thing with those cars, is you never see anybody below 60 driving them.
Yeah, it's always old dudes.
Yeah, it's a retirement car.
But I would love one. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how the trunk space
There was
is.
some dude in LA that bought one and like modified the hell out of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't modify this.
He's got like some. big
Honestly, I would
wad
get it
body
in
kit.
champagne with like a really nice interior, and just that'd be
That
it.
NA V8 5-liter.
Just treat it like I was retired. You know, like
Yeah.
I would just drive it to Pebble Beach every year. You know,
Yeah,
Perfect
that's
car.
a really good answer.
Not crazy about. Wasn't too crazy about the rear end either. It's okay. I think the front end is
their
fantastic.
taillights are pretty like controversial.
Striking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
They are
sculptural.
weird.
The front end is fantastic.
And
I don't really
crazy
like
about
how
that.
that rear quarter like comes up. This.
And in person, the taillights have like a 3D look to them.
Yeah,
so
it's
like you
very
look
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah,
Sculptural.
but this
Yeah.
is very and the it's so squished right here. It looks a
Yeah.
little weird.
Yeah,
it
they
looks better
definitely
in
like
person.
ran out of budget there. You know,
But the front quarter turn
and
angle is
it coming at
amazing.
you in motion. Is
It
like-
looks amazing. In a rearview mirror, it looks amazing.
it looks very good.
It's kind of like the
This red one.
the Euro M E34 M5 Tourings. And
There's a term in
Tourings.
Germany for that, for like
Yeah, I've heard
the
that.
way
Yeah,
a car
yeah, yeah,
approaches
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And they like a lot of like M cars are designed to look like menacing as they
Yeah,
approach.
yeah. All the M cars do.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called though, but same with AMGs and stuff too.
How a car looks when it is coming at you at 158 mile an
Yeah,
hour
like
speed difference
Autobahn,
on the
yeah, kind of
Autobahn.
thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, one of my friends just is importing a W210 E55 wagon.
Sick.
I just found that out like an hour ago, and I can't wait to see it. But that's for another podcast.
You know,
All right, so Lexus
I
LC 500 is the car everybody's sleeping on.
Nothing. I just thought about
think
that would
so.
look good, maybe with a wide body on it. How about a Liberty Walk LC 500?
Dude, you wouldn't get through parking lots. It would be way too wide.
Yeah.
They're already wide as hell.
You should make a 964 Liberty Walk.
That'd be
Dude, I
cool.
already get shit for funny wheels, bro.
Yeah,
That's hilarious to me. I think the wheels look great on that car.
I do
but
too. No,
don't
he said
listen
he
to
liked
haters.
the way they
Yeah,
looked.
no.
He just thought that it doesn't present with the rest of the cars in the shoot
Yeah.
with those wheels. Well, anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
Any
a very
other
dense episode.
closing points?
No, dude. Like I said, this is awesome.
How do you
Hope
guys
you
like
guys
the new set?
all love the new facilities as much as we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are so back.
Yeah.
It's I
keep
feel a
telling-
lot more
keep-
like energized in the
Yeah.
seating position than in
Definitely.
the couches.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah,
I
keep giving
definitely
us
need a better
criticism.
chair.
yeah, we'll get you.
Yeah,
a better
go-
chair.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some.
Sean and VJ are on the budget chair.
It's just-
Exactly.
You're
alright.
treading a very fine line there.
Yeah,
I feel like I have I have low self-esteem.
I didn't even. It was not intentional. Cut that. Cut the budget chair. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.